Hello, everybody. Welcome back. The altcoins are starting to explode, and Bitcoin is still struggling to break 50K. If you haven't already, subscribe, drop a comment, hit the bell for all the latest news in cryptocurrency. So, looking at it today, so Bitcoin is sitting at 48 and a half, 48,656, right? So, not the greatest, but it is starting to show signs of strength, and that's exactly where we need. So, potentially, I'm thinking here before long we will see again 50K as long as we can kind of fight off those sellers. So, the volume is very low, and typically, you don't want to sell when the volume is too low. And of course, you never want to sell when you're actually hanging out on support. It's always a bad idea. I don't care what market you're in. If you're selling stocks, if you're selling crypto, or if you're trading in crypto, you never really want to trade on support. This piece of advice. So I know I don't, because it's always dangerous. You can always drop below support or whatever. Of course, everybody wants that top moment to really kind of buy in and, of course, buy that dip, right? And, of course, make some money later on the line. But, however, it is starting to come up. So it's at 48,661 today. Not the best, not the worst. At least it's doing a lot better than it has been. It is starting to show a power shift, though, a little bit back into the buyers and not the sellers. But we still need a little bit more. When we're looking into the, and this is going to be your sign right here. So when we're looking into the last couple of days, right, so with the MACD and those moving averages, it does show that it's potentially going to kind of continue into the red for a little bit when you're looking into this, but it does have a potential to kind of go back up. So it is starting to show that. We want to see this volume really come back up. Now the price is kind of hanging around, and that's fine because the volume's low as well. You don't want to see the price dropping with a lot of volume, and that's a big sign to watch out for. So, but right now Bitcoin is starting to kind of make somewhat of a comeback, and that's what we need to see. But it is still struggling, so we can only time will tell here in the next couple of weeks that really where it's going to go. And honestly, I would say within the next week, by the end of this week, we're going to see where it's moving. But we are kind of moving into a bit of a range. It's just kind of moving at that kind of that triangle way, right? That continuing pattern. It does show that pretty well. But we do see that the selling power is starting to diminish, which is a good sign for us for the progress ahead. Ethereum. Now, Ethereum is doing really great. It also has that kind of the same thing going on as well for the continuation kind of coming up. But Ethereum is doing fantastic. So it's almost at 5K. So we almost got back to 5K now. We're sitting at today at 4,781, which is doing fantastic. A lot of a volume starting to pick up for Ethereum. But I think Solana has a lot to play in that with Ethereum as well. So with that being the case, I think we are going to break out and kind of really start moving up a lot further on. Of course, like the 13th of December, we had a lot of selling going on. That's cool, but it did shift the power pretty fast back to the buyers, and that's where we're seeing that as well. So some candles that's not the greatest that you want to see, but they are starting to show it. Now this is the daily. When we look at the weekly is showing a lot better than what it has been in the past couple of weeks. When we're speaking since like November, right? It is looking much better. So I think it is starting to move back up. And that's where you want to see. Now, we spoke about these coins before, such as like Ethereum and AVAX. Now, this is AVAX. AVAX is starting to kill it again. I think we're really starting to make a move for an all-time high. As you can see, we kind of bounced back off support here. We're moving up now like crazy. The same thing for the MACD when we're looking at it as well. Typically, I love to read this because it really gives us an idea of where the price average is going to go, right? So that price is going to move. Now, it's kind of moving into this way, and it's kind of also just giving you the data, the proof that it's going to continue to go up. And we're seeing some space here with the moving averages, and that's where we want to see too. So we want to see that moving average kind of continue in the way we are now. And we're going to see some up, but overall it's pretty healthy, right? Some healthy candles kind of moving on. We have a nice trend line, a normal retraction. So it's going up, and I would expect, honestly, probably here beside January, we're going to make for an all-time high for AVAX, and it's doing fantastic. And we're going to go over it too a little bit more. But we also have Matic also killing it. We spoke about Matic before, AVAX, Terra Luna, these coins we spoke about. You had your warning already. It's moving up to, you can see the same thing when we're going by the MACD for where it's going to go, where we can kind of predict somewhat in the area. That is still showing that same data, that same proof why the MACD is honestly one of those really important tools. And to kind of where to trade, right? Kind of give you an idea of where to trade it. But it's also doing really great. Now, the only thing I don't like is the volume is kind of down, moving down, and it does look like it's going to kind of shift back over to the sellers if we don't do something quickly with it. But it is also moving up. It's sitting at $2 right now. Fantastic. It's up by 8%. It's still very, very beautiful what it's doing. So I would expect it to, before too long, to kind of start reaching and making its move to an all-time high as well. So it's one of those coins that we told you about to watch out for, and it's going to really start picking up. So really, really keep an eye on this one, because I think it's really a good time to make some money off it. When we're looking at the market, let's look at how beautiful this is, right? So looking at Bitcoin, it's up by 6.04% for the daily, up 3% for the weekly. Fantastic. Still doing amazing, right? At 48.7, much better than what it has been doing. Ethereum, 6.06% for the 24-hour, almost 5.5 for the weekly. Fantastic. Solana is up double digits for the week by 1561 and 465 for the 24-hour period. Still awesome. Even Cardano is still struggling, but it's starting, at least it's in the green today, at 3.98% for the daily and 2 for the week. So still not the greatest, but hey. We told about XRP too, that it's going to kind of start making a move back up as well. Double digits, 11.5% for the weekly, 4.24 for the daily as well. Fantastic. AVAX, 49% for the weekly. Look at that. It's just fantastic. And double digits, almost 16% for the daily. Still killing it. Polkadot's even up at 3.70% as well, and negative by 5 for the weekly, but still kind of hanging in there. Shiba's also in double digits for the daily at 10.69. Polygon 26% for the weekly, and 11.42% for the daily. So still killing it, still doing really, really great. Litecoin 3.31. Right, we spoke about that one. Still doing good at 4.60% as well. $153, still doing very, very good as well. Even Tron, Tron's not doing that great, but hey. Algo is also doing some kind of okay for one of the smaller coins. Now, Axie Infinity is actually starting moving up too at 5.27%. And as well as Near Protocol is kind of hanging out at 870 at 3.42 for the day. Still doing pretty good. Now, Elrond is kind of doing its thing as well. So definitely watch out for these coins, guys. They're really going to kind of push further up, especially as we're coming into January. So this is the moment that you're really starting to see this movement. As we spoke about this, like January, February, they're going to start moving back up, right? Maybe a little bit of fight here and there, but it's still jumping. So definitely watch out for these. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining me. Subscribe, drop a comment, and hit that bell. Get all the latest news on the next updates. Don't miss out some of these more predictions that's coming on, because we've called them pretty right. Even with Bitcoin dropping, and it's still hanging out. And as I told you, it would be a time before it actually starts moving up. So if you're thinking that one of those that Bitcoin is going to jump up to 100K, and that's what I was telling you, it's going to be a long, long time for that. All right, guys, I will see you next time. Hit that bell.